Have you ever been told, like, in order to be successful, you have to be consistent? I've been told this pretty much my whole life, but especially since I started my own business. Everyone is preaching you have to be consistent. And they're also saying that your consistency has to be every day or multiple times a day. And you're just like sweating bullets. You're like, but I can't. Or there's so many things preventing me from doing that. Or I've tried. Does that sound like you? Consistency looks different for everyone, especially when you have ADHD. We have been led to believe that consistency is only every single day and doing a million things all at the same time, being everywhere. There are so many things that we have been trying but not been successful at, right? So consistency doesn't look the same for everyone. Now, are you going to get faster results ordinarily if you are more consistent every day, all the things more? Absolutely. Ordinarily, that is what that's going to get you. But that's not like the only option. Hey there, I'm Carolee Galt, and I'm an ADHD productivity strategist, and I'm a founder of the Productivity Impact, and our goal is to support ADHD entrepreneurs in their business and in their home life to be able to be more productive. So essentially, be efficient, getting things done faster than you could before. That is the definition of productivity, doing something faster or better than you have in the past. And so consistency, being able to not set yourself up for failure right from the get-go is a great way to start that, okay? Consistency is what you want it to be. I always tell my clients, I'm like, if people are telling you that you need to be on social media every single day, then they're not the mentor that you need for them, because it took me years to be able to be consistent on social media every single day. And I literally walked all over myself for that entire time for not being successful. I was attaching my consistency to my worth, which was then also attaching itself to my success level, which wasn't all that great, right? And so if that sounds like you, I feel for you. You are not alone, especially because I found that it's very common in the ADHD world that we have been trying neurotypical ways of doing things and not been finding success. And we've been beating ourselves up for that, okay? So when we are approaching consistency, this is what I tell everyone, is do what works for you. Be on the platforms and the places that work for you. Go to the things that work for you. We need to create what consistency looks like for you right now in this season. Now, you can still take advice from these people. I'm not saying like if someone says you need to be consistent every single day, run the opposite direction. But I'm saying is that you might need to work yourself up to that type of consistency, as I just kind of explained that happened to me. But I don't want you beating yourself up in the process. That's what I want to change. Okay? So do I believe that consistency every single day is ultimately the end goal for myself? Absolutely. Have I gotten there almost pretty regularly without too much trouble? Yes. But that has taken a lot of hard work, a lot of investing in myself, a lot of mentorship, a lot of different things have contributed to me being able to be successful. And a lot of that's my self-worth. Imposter syndrome has gotten in the way. Thinking that I'm just not good enough in general, right? Imposter syndrome. And so there has been so many things that have prevented me from being consistent, because if we start talking down on ourselves, we end up not knowing even what to post, even knowing what to talk about. We start judging ourselves and our abilities, and we just go down a spiral. Is that you? Yeah, I get it. Okay. So I want you to take a step back, and we're going to go back to the basics of what consistency can look like. And I want you to customize it to yourself. If it looks like one time a week posting on social media, then that's where you start. I want you to get a clear message. I want you to get used to posting that one time. I want you to, in the background, be doing some market research, be testing different things out while you're in the process of being consistent on social media or consistent showing up wherever that is for you. And I mean, that does not mean being on all the platforms all the time. I would rather you consistently be on one platform and up its level over time than to try to be on all of them. And that has been told to me by many mentors, okay? A lot of us have tried to be on multiple platforms all at once, and that's one of the reasons that might be preventing you from being consistent, okay? Because you're trying to do it on too many places at one time. Now, that doesn't mean don't repurpose things. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother video, but we need to work within our brain's ability to be consistent at this point in time. So here is the first thing I want you to do is I want you to decide what platforms you're going to be on and then how often you want to be consistent there. And then if you want to even go farther, like what's your game plan if you are in that space? What's your game plan for what you want to talk about on that platform? I also want to acknowledge something else, okay? There might be other things getting in the way of our consistency. I'm pretty sure no one on here is going to disagree with that statement. Why? Because we wear many hats. We wear a hat of maybe a parent. We wear a hat of a teacher, maybe a housekeeper. And I laugh at that one because, yeah. Maybe you work a full-time job or a part-time job. Maybe you're like me and you also homeschool your kids. Maybe you're going down the gentle parenting, conscious parenting, all of that type of route with your kids. And that takes a lot more energy from you. And so being consistent seems like it's even farther away. And then you have to pick and choose what that looks like for you. Consistency could literally be because of your energy levels, right? We have to create consistency that works for us. So here are some things that can help you be able to be more consistent, especially as you're starting out. So habits, routines, these things take a minimum of 21 days to actually start to become like automatic. Okay? Habits are essentially automatic things or things that become more natural, right? And so you have to give yourself a minimum of 3 weeks where you do it every single day to actually instill it in your brain. And that's minimum. And I feel like for some reason with ADHD that it might actually take longer because we're very scattered, right? Easily distracted, easily get like pulled in opposite directions, right? So I encourage every single person I ever talk to work on their business every single day of the work week at the very least. So like Monday through Friday, but it's not like you have to. You create the schedule, you create the consistency that works best for you. Like I've already said, we have a lot of different factors factoring into this, but the more, and not necessarily the more time that we put into it, the more we're going to be successful, because we have to make sure that we are also putting, like the marketing is good and we have the offers are good and we know our person. And so before you can even really show up consistently, you have to know what you're showing up consistently for, right? And so there are so many factors. And so if you are following along with this, I encourage you to write down what your ideal schedule is, like what it is right now, I should say. And then what you honestly want it to look like. If you're like, I don't even know how to start a schedule, like I don't like schedules, I don't like structure, you probably have a hard time implementing the structure. As I've said, 21 days to start using these different things, all right? And if you're like, I need some assistance here, I encourage you to start with the productivity app. That's also like a paper planner, only better because it's electronic. And so you can have it on your phone, on your laptop, whatever that looks like. You know, all the digital places, also integrates a bunch of different things. I encourage you to try out Sunsama, and you can actually find that link in the description. You can go ahead and just click on it, and it gives you a 14-day trial, and a 14-day trial is plenty of time for you to hop in there and to see if it's going to work for you. I have told so many people about this app because it has been one of the only apps that I have stuck with and loved for months. Ordinarily, I try something and I love it, and it wears off in a week or two, maybe a month at most. And because I learned that about myself, I gave this one months before I told anyone about it. One person. And that one person loved it too. But I now stand behind it because, yes, it is amazing and can help you stay so much more organized with all of its capabilities, all right? And I actually created a video about this. I gave Sunsama a review, and so I'll go ahead and link that in the description as well. And so you can go ahead and check it out before you even hit that link as far as trying it out yourself. You can get an inside look from my Sunsama and how you can use it. Okay? So if you also are like, I don't even know how much time I spend on my business right now. I'm being pulled to the laundry, my kids, and the dishes, and my business, and all these other crazy things. Your job, right? These things are all impeding on your abilities. And so you might not even know how many hours a week that you spend on your business. And so I encourage you, if you can manage, okay? I know no one likes this word. I know no one likes to do this, but I encourage you to test out maybe doing a time audit, okay? And a time audit is very simple, but we want to know if we're being realistic with how much time we're giving ourselves instead of just beating ourselves up about it. I like to use this example here because I thought in the beginning that something was going to take me 30 minutes and it actually took me 3 hours. Like my time was so messed up. And to this day, I am now able to be like, oh, that's going to take me this much time. Approximately. Now, am I still off? Absolutely. But I'm not as off as 2.5 hours. That's insane. And that could be you. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need to if I want to honestly spend more time with my kids and be able to do all these other things, I am going to have to get on top of my time. And that was doing a time audit to start. Okay? So if you want to grab a time audit, I do have a tracker. It's below. And even if you do it for one day, you just write down what you're doing, how long you think it's going to take you, how long it actually takes you, and then any notes that you want to take about yourself. This is literally a learning experience. Take one thing away from this time audit and you can run with that in the beginning. Okay? All right, next week, I'm actually going to be talking about I want to be consistent, but I'm not sure how. So if you want to grab that, make sure you come back next week. I drop one video every single week about ADHD productivity and in your business or your household or even just your life in general and how you can do things in less time. So how you can do things more sustainably, okay? And so make sure you pop back next week to grab that one. And if you're not subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe to this channel so that way you just get notified when I drop those videos, okay?